free. I don't have you around, but you helped me find my body. Sometimes I feel sorry for all the coyotes that wander the streets. Displaced from their nature, they scavenge our yards 'cause they still have to eat. But then comes the nightfall and they start howling for others to meet. I guess there's a form of connection, everyone could have something sweet. Past weighs me down, so neat. I felt free. I don't have you, but you helped me find my body. Inside of a lighthouse, I'm building a model of my neighborhood. The mailman comes by for deliveries. I explain, but I'm not understood. He says, what's the point of all this? You're insane and it's not very good. But I think there's a reason I'm searching for meaning in things made of wood. as you walked out the door. It really feels like a memory. I wanna know. If we're forsaken here, why now hold back? We're more than strangers, counting our back. We can't control that. We're more than strangers, counting our back. We can't control that. We're more than strangers, counting our back. We can't control
Got one more song for you.
As our plans fall apart, we grow old in our holes. I've been listening to souls that have left their birthday parties. They're not hungry, but they make me laugh. As we toll violins, they are here, drawing tunes that will make you drop a tear. Never miss one, howling home to stop horses in the stable. Yeah, it's real disappointed, but I would never call it boring. It's probably gonna be like this for the rest of our lives. The flavor of the month is purple, and every time it changes, I feel like part of me dies. Feel the eye of a wind in the streets. We have planes, we have stomping feet on our way to stomping practice. There's no cactus that can handle this heat. Just as soon fashions change, we all need to rearrange, change the tunes or tune page. Now the same souls have been turned upside down, poking holes in all of our feet. It's real disappointed, but I would never call it boring. It's probably gonna be like this for the rest of our lives. The flavor of the milk is purple, and every time it changes, I feel like part of me dies. And as I'm on, the page is torn out from my mind. My spirit cries, and I look up with newborn eyes. What a surprise! I'm still alive.
so many great key changes. He's like, is there another interview? You're good. You're
Thank you.
good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on.
Anytime. Hopefully we'll have Max back. This is what I'm talking about. Right in our own backyard. He traveled all the way from Pacoima. Thank you so much for coming out. And this will not be the last. We'll be seeing of you and hearing of you. So we'll have up next Liliana. She's going to do an acoustic set as well, yes? But before she does, we're going to have a brief interview so we can get to know Liliana. Liliana, hello.
So nice to finally meet you.
We've heard a lot through our mutual friend Melanie, who's going to actually do the visual art in a few minutes. So Liliana will have her own set, and then she'll have another set with Melanie, who's going to do the visual artistry also. Kind of like a visual interpretation of what you're playing acoustically, right?
Yeah.
Audibly. Okay, so, my goodness. Your music and Max's music are along the same lines, that acoustic kind of like mini, I would call them intricate key changes that aren't your norm, that will have the listener kind of do one of these, well, that sounds odd, but it works, you know, just like combinations of tones, right, in your music. Can you explain your process of combining those tones to get your sound, to create your sound, and how that process has been for you up to this point, finding your sound, your unique
Thank
sound?
you for that, because I'm a huge fan of Max's music, so being put in the same caliber is like very nice. I mean, I think I didn't like grow up playing guitar, and I grew up singing jazz, and so like what my ears were attuned to wasn't necessarily what I could like just know how to do through studies. So I think writing after studying jazz as a vocalist on guitar was just sort of like a trial and error of like, oh, why are the chords I'm picking not what like I want to hear now that like my ears are attuned to something else. So it's just like a lot of like intuitive messing around and like just playing for fun and like seeing if I could one up myself from yesterday.
That's right.
You know?
Pushing to see how far that sound can go, right?
Yeah.
And when you talk about playing, I understand that. That's my favorite word is serendipity. That's how you find that nice, happy surprise. Is just being fearless. And I hear that in your playing.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
like that happy surprise. That's cool.
You have many of those. Talk a little bit about your upbringing. Do you come from a musical family, or what were your influences growing up? What did your parents play?
So my parents were definitely music appreciators, but not so much musicians, but they were very creative. So my dad wrote novels, and they're like very like interesting. I don't know if I'd call them sci-fi, probably more like sci fantasy.
Yes.
And then my mom painted a lot on the Venice boardwalk. She did a lot of stuff with like
Oh.
nail polish, and she did like glass mosaics and
Okay.
stuff. So I feel like their creativity definitely rubbed off on me. And then my grandmother sang. So my grandmother, though she like didn't, play a lot of gigs with, or like played an instrument, she was an amazing singer her whole life and write songs off the top of her head. She used to do like singing telegrams.
Yeah.
So I think that was like where a lot of it came from too.
You got it in your veins. Yeah. So I'm glad Melanie, our mutual friend, said you got to listen to her. And I'm thinking, no one's picked her up yet as far as a label.
Thank
But
you.
I figure this time, even though you're not signed with a label, will give you that opportunity, that time to literally just dive into what your sound really is. And just hearing a few sounds coming from our friend's phone, that was enough for me to say, okay, there's something to her sound. There's layers, right?
Oh, thank you.
Very complicated, and I mean that as a compliment. I love complicated combinations of notes and how it's executed, and you do it, I wouldn't say flawlessly. I don't think there is a flawless, I don't think that word could even really be used in music. There's everyone has that sound, really that sound that you're looking for, and I think you've got it.
Thank you.
Early on. I know it took work, but I think we're still early on. This is not, you know, this is
It's a
just
lifelong
the beginning, right?
process
You got your own life ahead of you.
You know, music you want to do. I think it's always
Yes.
just going to be lifelong.
Yes. The learning never stops. So Liliana is going to perform for us a set for about 10 minutes or so, and then she will be joined with Melanie after I interview Melanie, and then you're both going to do the audiovisual part of your artistry, basically.
Cool. Thank you so much,
Thank
Nefertiti.
you.
So awesome to meet you.
Thank you.
guys, I have one more for you. can't backtrack no more. I'm tired of hearing the quiet nearing of the final score. And play the laugh track, 'cause I can't backtrack no more. No. I'm tired of hearing the quiet nearing of the final score. Thank you.
Thank you, Liliana.
Thank you,
Thank you so much. Beautiful, isn't it? Isn't she beautiful? So up next we'll have Melanie, our visual artist. I will interview you first. She's gonna bring her gear.
Yes.
This is Melanie,
Hello.
and we met incidentally just before
We
I was
did.
about to do my radio production.
Yeah.
By happenstance.
I was in Pomona because I was going to a friend's art show because I missed its opening, so I wanted to check it out. And when I got there, it had already closed. Like the gallery
Yeah.
was closed, and so there was no one in the area except for just this
Nobody.
beautiful, interesting, wonderful woman.
Oh, it's
and
playing handball.
Yeah, you were playing with a bouncy ball.
Yeah.
And I asked you about the gallery, and you said you weren't sure, but we just ended up hanging out, and that's how we met, and it's a really funny story.
I invited her to my actual radio production while I was live on air, so she was a
Yeah.
guest.
It was really cool.
It was not planned, and it really was cool.
Yeah.
But just
was awesome.
that was in what 20.
That was in like 2016. I would
Yeah,
say.
2016. That long
16,
ago.
Yeah.
So we've kept in touch.
Yes.
And we have a music language, so we speak food and music, right?
Yes.
That's our language. And the young lady that you heard before, Liliana, how do you pronounce Liliana's last name?
Liliana Valines.
Villines, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. She's off the camera, but yes. Liliana Villines. We'll have all of the IG, Instagram and social media addresses or whatnot, contacts for all of the artists who perform tonight. It will be posted, so if you want any information, if you want to contact them, book them, possibly, that information will be available. It'll be posted. Your art
Yes.
comes from the heart. Bars.
Yes, I hope so.
That
Comes
was
from
lame,
somewhere.
I know. But you've sent me some things through the mail
Yes, I did.
that
I
were
have.
sketches, but I'm
Yes.
like, oh my goodness. So talk about a couple of your sketches.
Well, actually, I met Liliana when we were in high school doing an art program within our high school. It was an art high school. And art was a huge part of my youth, my formative years, and I struggle to make it have the same, to have it take up the same amount of space as it did when I was younger in my life. But I still find myself, always going back to it in one way or another when I need something from myself. Yeah,
Does it give you a place of solace?
it does. Yeah,
Balance.
yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
What's your most difficult piece that you've done as far as a project that you were given and a
Ooh.
time frame to where it needed to be done
Okay.
and a theme? So it's not like something you did as a hobby on the side as opposed to like an assignment or...
Yeah, I think just in general, the hardest kind of art form that I've ever experienced was printmaking. And it's such a beautiful medium of just layering different images and finding found objects that you then incorporate into plates that create, you can create one plate, and from that plate you can easily make 100 images. And so it's a really wonderful very relevant form of art. And the most difficult project I had to do was a shinkole, which basically involves taking different objects and different fabrics, textures, and just layering them to create a cohesive piece. And then you make this medium that you seal it all in, and then you print it. And that took a long time, but I was really to this day that piece is like my favorite piece.
But it wore you out.
It did, yeah, it did.
Okay. That kind of reminds me of some of the music that we've been listening to. The
Yes.
complexity and the layers and whatnot.
Exactly. There's
Yeah?
so many different types of just speeds and layers that just create such a beautiful, complex, sound. And I'm really honored to know such wonderful musicians.
We've got a nice eclectic group here, and I'm glad that they all showed up to give you this wonderful music. So what we're going to do now is pair your visual artistry with audible artistry from Liliana. So Liliana, if you don't mind joining. So we're going to set up an easel. Here, do you need help with this?
If you got it.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
So that was Melanie on visual, that's her creation, and Liliana on acoustic guitar. So our next performer will be Bobby Razak. Bobby is no stranger to Da. So you've been here, actually, am I in frame? Okay, I'm good. All right. Hello, neighbor. This literally is my neighbor, Bobby Razak, and we met about 3 months ago.
Yeah,
Although
about
we've
3
been
months
seeing
ago.
each other over the years, we're just, you know, always either coming or going, right? So your father is the one who introduced me to you, and he
Yeah.
said, you know, my son is a great musician, and it's like, okay, all this hype, let me hear him. Let me. So you did not fail, and that night, as far as like what my expectations were, what you provided that evening, as far as the music,
Mhm.
spontaneously, like surpassed my expectations. And it was just on your piano in your living room in your home, and I was actually taking a night walk, like at night 9:30 or something like that at night, very spontaneous. So actually, his dad was the one who introduced me to your music. So
I'm glad you guys met.
right, very spontaneous. So were your parents playing music that you play a lot? Because I remember I heard you the first time, and I said it sounded a lot like Elton John in
Mhm.
that vein, right? I hear a lot
Yeah.
of Elton John influences in your music.
I like Elton John. My parents would play Elton John quite a bit.
Any
I
other
wouldn't-
artists that were similar to what you play now, or?
I like large, not large, but electric guitars, and I just want to play the piano loud. But I could also play quiet.
Yeah, because I know you play it more like a percussion, because that's piano. Essentially, what piano is a percussion instrument. But you really are heavy on the percussion side of playing piano, and there are more soft side, players. But you really are. You'll see what I mean when he starts literally hitting the keys. But your tone, it's very uplifting, and your choice in lyrics, very interesting. If you really listen to the lyrics, it's there's like a mini story, but kind of like a Bruce Hornsby. I don't know if you've heard of a Bruce Hornsby. He's more of a lyricist,
I haven't heard of it.
You gotta check them
I've heard
out.
of
But I'm kind of comparing you to what I am familiar with, so that the viewers, the streamers can get an idea of what they're going to hear next. But is there anything that you would like the viewers to know about yourself, as far as performing? Any superstition you might have before you go on performing? Do you have any like rituals or strange things you eat before you go on stage, or
There's a lot of
any
going with
quirks?
the flow. I love cheeseburgers.
There you go. He's got to have a cheeseburger before you perform, basically. Yeah.
Wherever I go, if
Right?
it's a different state, so I gotta try whatever they have over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to perform a small set for us, maybe a 5-minute set, just shy of 10. I think that's about how
Yeah.
much time we have left.
Up to 10, I would say.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for coming out, Bobby. We're going to
Okay,
hear Bobby
thanks, man.
next on piano.
Good to go? All right. It rusted in remembrance. Green was on a tree. We met during a transition, not knowing where we would be. Blue vine brings me back to you. Blue vine, we have done what's true. This next song I wrote a couple years ago about right before I was leaving a place that I wouldn't see for a while. I dropped the F-bomb, but I'm going to censor it just in case if there's like some little people watching at some point. So, all right, here we go. Joy on a mountaintop, cousin Jack and I throwing rocks. The ground feeling so sweet. All around is what I see. Cousin Jack slipped and fell. I tried to help, he wasn't well. Scraped his all over his leg, but now he's okay and doing better. Joy and sorrow, so much to follow. A peace of mind, a penny to find. I've got a feeling that the world we know has to go someday. Take it all in as the present from within, colors of the atmosphere come together to make here, there, and everywhere. I should have said hello. I was too mellow. My schedule's looking tight. Forget it and fly. Joy and sorrow, so much to follow. A peace of mind, a penny to find. I've got a feeling that the world we know has to go someday. Take it all in as the present from within, That was the present.